Callum, and Porterfield! Oh, Porterfield has scored!
A block by Tommy Wright Phillips again, and Sunderland contract trophy aloft for the second time.
Hello, how are we all getting on? So I hope you are all alright. So I just wanted to jump on and look at it in a little bit detail of why I think our season's dropped off a little bit. Now you might think I'm talking a load of bullshit, but it's just a little bit of research I've done and my personal thoughts on why I think we've dropped off a little bit. Is it the case that we're now playing at our expected level? You know, were we overachieved in them first 10 weeks or so? With the exception of Meppen and Isidore, you know, that team is the same set of players who only won one of the last 12 games at the back of the last season, so we have been massively overachieving. Or are there other reasons for that? But I'm just going to go through a few scenarios and a few reasons why I think we've dropped off. But first of all, you know, this narrative about who's really in charge. Now, I'll be really annoyed and surprised if Regis Le Bris isn't in charge, but have a look at this little clip from Friday night. So looking at that, who is really in charge? Who's issuing the instructions? Certainly isn't Le Bris. He's standing there like a noddy dog, just nodding his head, while Dodds is issuing the instructions and tactics and telling players what to do. Where's Pedro Ribeiro, our new assistant manager? He's nowhere to be seen in that clip, so where is he? So is it just me, or is it the narrative that Dodds and Proctor are actually running the show? Is it because Regis Le Bris can't communicate properly in them fast-paced scenarios? Can he not get his message across with the language barrier? So he tells Dodds, and then Dodds passes it on. Like, does Dodds step in? You know, bear in mind that Dodds is meant to be a coach. So is there a language issue with Le Bris and Ribeiro? Can they not get the point across that they want to on the sidelines? But for him not even to be in the picture there when there's stuff to be done, like I say, Le Bris just standing like a noddy dog, doesn't really bode well for me. Now, on to Pedro Ribeiro, could he be the problem? Now, this is going to probably bore the tits off you, but have a look at this scenario of before and after we appointed him. So, before we appointed Ribeiro, including the Carabao Cup, we played 10, won 6, drew 1, lost 3, scored 18, conceded 10 and had 19 points. That's a points per game of 1.9, goals per game of 1.8. Since we appointed him, we've played 9 games, we've only won 3, we've drew 5, lost 1, only scored 8 goals, conceded 5, we've took 14 points. Points per game has dropped to 1.55, goals per game has dropped to 0.9. So have we suddenly developed this defensive setup, this negative setup to stop the high press since he became assistant manager, or is it purely a coincidence? Now, also you've got to look at tactics, team selection and substitution. So, you know, playing players out of form and position. Roberts has been out of form for weeks but still getting the game. He's got no competition there at right wing apart from Mayenda, who came in against Millwall and did well, but he's a centre forward. So we've got no competition down that right hand side. Dan Neil's the same. He's not a defensive midfield player, nor is he a captain, but he's still playing there because we haven't got a natural defensive midfield player in the squad. Well, we have in Salih Samed, but he's injured. Playing Trey Hume at left back just to accommodate Luke O'Nien at right back. You know, a crazy decision. When Regis Le Bris was asked about that in a press conference, his words were, "I asked the staff." Now, he's worked with these players now for 5 months. Surely he knows the strengths and weaknesses and knows where they can and can't play. Why should he take the advice of the staff? Again, another one that doesn't really bode well and doesn't really ring true with me. Say playing Luke O'Nien at left back against Sheffield United just to play him when you had Adji Alisi, who was fit there, who could have played there. Now, I've just touched on there about Salih Samed. You know, are we paying his wages? You know, our Lens must be laughing their cocks off if we are paying his wages. He's not kicked the ball. We've paid £3 million for Milan Alexic, only made one substitute appearance. Surely you have to play your strongest team. To be a successful side, there's no room for sentiment. You've got to be strong and pick your strongest side. Whether it doesn't matter whether Luke O'Nien is a great personality, is a great influence around the squad. Same as Dan Neil, just because he's a local lad, it doesn't guarantee him a spot in the side. If there's players better than him, then you have to play them. But look, you know, we have done a lot of things right this season. We've only lost 3 league games, but the last 6 games we've been awful, apart from the odd spells here and there. We've moved away from all the things that we've done well in the first 10 games. Now this week we have to really reset and get ready for these next 2 home games. Anything less than 6 points against Stoke and Bristol City, and there'll be even more questions asked about Regis Le Bris. We need to play our strongest team, you know, no matter if we've got local lads or not, like I've said. So bearing in mind, you know, with the injuries and what have you, what we've got and suspensions, this will be my team that I play against Stoke. I'd have Patterson in goal. I'd have Trey Hume at right back, Dan Ballard and Adji Alicia in the middle with Dennis Certain left back. I'd give Alexic a go in that Dan Nails position. I'd have Eliza Mienda on the right, Job and Rig in the middle, Tommy Watson on the left and Wilson Isidore up front. That will be my side against Stoke. I didn't know if we've appealed that red card against Chris Mepham. I don't think we have, but that's the team I will play on Saturday. It's also been, you know, noted by me and other players, you know, fans that we're leaving it far too late to make substitutions. You know, the Sheffield United at half time, we should have made changes there. To come up with a back 3 against Sheffield United of Luke O'Nien, Trey Hume and Dan Ballard was an absolutely crazy decision. And have Tommy Watson as wing backs, you know what I mean? And it doesn't really, it's absolutely stupid decision. There's also, it doesn't seem to be a plan B either. We never seem to change things up a little bit. We never switch wingers for 5-10 minutes. We always just seem to continue playing the same way and hope for the best. Now we've got the January transfer window coming up as well shortly. Now I feel that we really need to strengthen, but Le Bris has already said the model is youth. The only way we'll go into the transfer market to buy players is if they think that the youth players are not ready to step up and make an impact in the first team. That's the only way we're going to be making signs. Now again, if we're in and around that top 6, to not sign some experienced players, again will be criminal. We need that defensive midfield player if Salih Samed is not going to play. If he's not going to play, I would chase him and send him back to Lens. We also need a right winger to either put pressure on Roberts or to take over from him. Me, if I'd listened to offers from me, maybe in hindsight, Southampton, when they bid £2 million for him last year, we should have get rid of him. But, you know, hindsight's a wonderful thing. But Roberts offers nothing in terms of goals and assists. And I think he's become more of a liability. He looks lazy and he doesn't look interested. If you look at this here, since he signed for us in the 2021-22 season, he's played 114 games. He's only got 8 goals and 13 assists in that time. That's a goal every 14 games and an assist every 9 games. Simply not good enough. You know, not good enough for a creative player, an attacking player. And we've been saying for weeks and months that his end product is rubbish. And this just proves that with them stats, you know, not really not good enough. So that's just my opinion on a few things that I think is the reason why we've dropped off this season. You know, like I say, it's not a crisis by any way, shape or form, but it's worrying. We've got no win in 6. We need to get back to winning ways in these next 2 games. But mainly I think we've overachieved early doors and now some players have dipped a bit. The squad's getting found out with the lack of strength and depth. Combine that with the poor tactics and some, you know, really iffy team selections. We now find ourselves out of form at the most crucial time in the season. So that we need to put that right now and put it right quickly, starting with the next 2 home games, Stoke and Bristol City, Two massive opportunities to get 6 points and get us back up that league. See, everybody's beating everybody else in this league at the moment. You know, Leeds got beat at Blackburn at the weekend, and it just proves if you go on a run, you end up being back up there, as Middlesbrough have proven in the last few weeks. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Do you think any of that's right what I've said? Do you think I'm talking a load of shite? Do you think it's time to panic? But the main concern for me is this Regis Le Bris situation and Dodds and Proctor having too much influence, and the so-called head coach and the assistant head coach seem to be the ones taking a back step and offering out on the sidelines. But let me know what you think. Watch out for the match preview coming out for the Stoke game, probably Thursday. That'll be coming out. But please like, share and subscribe to the channel if you don't mind, to get this out to some more Sunderland fans and get some more people subscribing. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, stay safe, and we'll speak soon. Ta-ra.